Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we do full-length car reviews each and every week, and halfway through we stop for a segment called Questions, Coffee, and Cars, and we spun it off 100 episodes ago. Now we're up to episode 100. How do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning I put a post out with Zach and I holding coffees. Once we gather our questions, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Okay, before we get to your questions from Instagram, we're here at Triton, Newfoundland at the harbor here. And as soon as we got here, we got this perfect spot right down by the water. They fired up the digger over there.
Yes.
So we apologize for some background noise, but we're gonna soldier on.
We are going to soldier on. And you know what? There's a lot of action behind us here to also keep you entertained.
Okay, so we are in Newfoundland for the 100th episode. We're with the Chevrolet Silverado. Chevrolet, General Motors brought us here. We're doing two cars, the Chevrolet Silverado and then the all-new Cadillac XT4. So we've stopped in Triton, Newfoundland, and the people here, amazing.
Amazing people everywhere we go. The red carpet has been rolled out for us. We just stayed at the View last night, and the views are incredible.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like it. And Jason and Larissa, thank you for the hospitality. It's a must-see.
So they didn't have to think long and hard about the name.
No.
Because it's called the View for a reason. Anyway, that's here in Triton, Newfoundland. We also stayed at all the places we stayed. We stayed at the Fisher's Inn.
Yeah.
And that was in Port Rexon. That was fantastic. I'll show you pictures of that. And we started out in St. John's, Newfoundland at the Alt Hotel, and they gave us these mugs.
With all of these sweet treats inside for our Questions, Coffee, and Cars segment, which we thought was so kind. So we started in St. John's, and we've been on this amazing road trip through Newfoundland. What an experience we've had. And the Chevrolet Silverado, wow, it does its jobs on the rough roads in Newfoundland, that's for sure.
They're everywhere, like everywhere, General Motors trucks, and there's a reason for it. Okay, you want to get into the questions?
Yeah, let's get in.
So we put a post out, ask us anything, and I thought they'd get a little more personal.
Me
but,
too.
But that's good. You kept it nice.
But great question.
All right, so let's get into it.
Here we go. Congratulations. What is your favorite car of all time? This could even be from your childhood. Do you want to go first?
Well, mine has always been the Porsche 911. I can remember when I was 11 years old in Edinburgh, Scotland, where my family's from, walking along Rose Street, and there's a toy shop there, and in the window, they had a 911. I still have it. I bought it. It's a gold 911. And I always thought I'm going to have one of those cars. I still have the toy car. I ended up with two 911s, so it happened.
Yeah, well, that's great. We all know I like the 911 Targa GTS, but I'm going to switch it up because you threw in childhood memories, and I'm going to go with a Mustang. And the reason why is we were actually a Ford family, believe it or not, and my dad had a Mustang, an older orange Mustang with a white vinyl interior, and I just thought it was the coolest, and I still think that they're pretty cool today.
Yeah, when I was a teenager, my dad bought a 1970 Cougar, which was sunburnt orange with a black interior. Fast as hell. Yeah. If he only knew what trouble I got up to in that car.
Well, he knows now, but time has passed, right? How's the weather in Newfoundland?
Oh,
wow.
Boiling hot.
Today it's really hot, but I would say it's been changeable. St. John's, first off, I want to go on the record saying we've had amazing weather here, but we've had some rainy nights, which is fine because we're touring around during the day and it's been sunny and beautiful for filming.
Yeah, I mean, we came first week of July, and the weather, you couldn't ask for better weather. And we're only halfway through.
Only halfway through. 100 episodes, wow. I've watched all and absolutely love each episode. Thank you. My question is, if you could only drive one car for the rest of your lives, which car would it be?
Mine would be a yellow Digger.
Our kids, when they were little, especially our oldest Jack, obsessed with Diggers. Anyone who has a young boy probably can relate, although I'm sure there's girls who are also fascinated by Diggers.
I'm not sure if the show's still on, but in Canada there was a show called Mighty Machines.
Yeah.
And they used to follow trucks and diggers, and that was his favorite show. For me, the car I'd go the rest of the way, I don't ever want to be that. We get emails all the time or messages for the show saying, well, I'm going to buy my final car. And I've always said, that's never going to, I'm going to be on my deathbed, Andrea holding my hand going, Andrea.
He'll never.
I'm already planning the next car.
Yeah.
So, but
He'll
if
never be that person.
I've always wanted a BMW E39 M5, 400 horsepower, manual transmission, rear wheel drive. I'd like it in blue, please. And I could live with that every day. It's a 4-door sedan. It'd be perfectly good for me. I just wouldn't want to drive it in the winter.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, I'm going, well, what are you going to do? Are you taking transit in the winter? Or
No,
you're just going to be in my car?
You're going to be in your car.
Okay.
I know. I just realized, I'm just looking down at our monitor down there.
Yeah.
People are going to make fun of my white legs. They're the same color as my shoes.
That's okay. Mine are pretty white too.
I don't
We
know
are
if-
getting some sun. We've had
a crapola spring.
yeah, it hasn't been sunny in Vancouver, but since we've left, guess what? It's like a heat wave there.
Yeah, heat wave here.
For me, yes, Zach will definitely have to come with me. I'm going with something new, and this is a great compromise of performance, but also space, and it's not an SUV. Can you guess?
Performance and space and not an SUV. A station wagon?
But what would I pick?
You don't like station wagons.
I do like station. This one, the RS6 Avant from Audi.
Audi, yeah.
I could drive that as my only vehicle for the rest of my life.
Okay, well that's fine. We could.
She's a pricey one.
Yeah,
but
we'll put winter tires on that, and then we'll put my M5 in the garage.
that sounds good. Let's do it. Hi, I love your channel, and I think it's so cool how you're producing content while you're on your Silverado road trip. My question for you to consider is, will South Korea eventually replace Japan as the leader in automotive sales, quality, and efficiency? It's a good question because the Koreans, wow, they are producing not only some incredible designs right now, but a lot of different vehicles, from EVs to plug-in hybrids to hybrids and gas models.
Yeah, but you just look at the scope of what in North America. Now you've just got to go continent by continent. The scope of vehicles that Toyota has, from sports cars all the way to pickup trucks and so on.
Yeah.
And then the number of vehicles they sell worldwide. So they're 10 million units plus a year. They're the largest car company in the world. Then you have to look at their manufacturing facilities that are on every continent around the world, except for Antarctica, of course. But you have just a dominant footprint that it would be a monumental task to surpass to get past them. So I don't think that you could do it. You might do it on features and quality, but I don't think in volume.
And then you think about, you're saying Japanese.
Just a second. Thank you. Thank you. He's waiting for the next truck to
That
arrive.
must have been Jason from The View. He's the mayor of Triton.
Yeah.
So maybe he stopped it. I don't know. He knows we're filming. Anyway, there's also so many other Japanese brands that you're adding, you know, lumping in, like Subaru and Mazda. You know, I think that they're just such a dominant force in the market.
One last thing before we go, I just think that your point is well taken, though, that the Koreans are hell-bent on beating the Japanese. There's a lot of history between Japan and Korea, and it's not pretty. And the Koreans really, really want to take it to the Japanese and win in the marketplace, so just leave that where it is.
Wow, congratulations. Now, the real question is, when are you going on vacation? This kind of feels a little bit like a working vacation.
Yeah, they're all working vacations.
They're all working vacations. For us, a lot of times when we are vacationing, we like to stay at home because we're not in a hotel.
Or on an airplane.
On an airplane. So sometimes it's nice just to be at home and relax. But vacation for us and workload, I don't know.
Hard.
It's really hard. It's hard to find a balance.
So what we had is a very busy spring and early summer, and I said to Andrea, we have this trip and then one more in California, and I said to Andrea, that's it.
Yeah.
We're done for the rest of the summer.
And-
We're not
and-
going anywhere.
And then I said, unless it's a great trip. And he said, no.
Unless someone invites us to Europe or something, we'll go. But I said, until Labor Day, we're going to stay home and enjoy. We just built a new deck in our backyard.
Yeah.
And we have beautiful, Vancouver in the summer is spectacular. So we're quite happy to stay at home. But you're right, it's hard to get that balance. But a veteran auto journalist once said to me, people would say, when are you going to retire? And he said, so what you want me to do is to travel, stay in nice hotels, eat nice food, and see great places. He goes, I do that now.
Yeah. You just work and do it. Traveling vacation. We have a pretty spectacular job for sure. We're very fortunate to do what we do. And even to be on a trip like this for a week with Chevrolet and Cadillac is pretty amazing.
Well, just put it this way. For Andrea, this is my 4th time to Newfoundland, all with car companies.
Yeah.
The first time I was here was with Chevrolet for the Silverado launch. And, you know, being from the other coast of Canada, 4.5 time zones away, boy, that time zone change was a bitch when we got here.
Yeah,
Wow, we were tired.
it was.
Is that you would probably never come to Newfoundland.
I probably wouldn't. We did discuss at one time to try and get out here, but the distance and the time change and just timing didn't work out for us. But I'm so glad that we've had the opportunity because people here are just incredible. I just can't believe how friendly they are. And also when it comes to filming. You know, in Vancouver or really any other part of Canada, I would say, unless you're in a smaller area, a lot of times they say, oh no, you can't go up there. No, you can't film there. We pulled up, there was a large truck that was parked here, also a Silverado, I might add. And we asked, and he's like, come on in and make sure you stop at my house on the way back.
What he said is, you have to come fishing with me.
Yeah, we have to go fishing.
That's the kind of hospitality you get. He goes, are you going fishing? And I go, well, we're kind of busy. And he goes, you got to come fishing. So we have a standing invitation to go fishing.
Yes. Congrats to 100. What is your favorite color for a car?
I know what my least favorite is. Andrea, what's that?
His least favorite is black. Black is hard to keep clean.
Oh.
Shows everything.
Black car looks great for 30 minutes and then
Yeah.
the dust starts. I don't know. It's very car specific for me.
I was going to say the same.
Yeah.
For example, the Mazda Miata had to be red for me, 100%.
And if it had to be red for Andrea, it had to be red for me.
The GTI we decided together, Palmetto yellow.
Well, we went to the launch event and we saw the color and we thought that's a kind of a funky different color. And if you're
Yeah.
going to have the last year manual GTI, might as well get it in a fun color.
Super fun. So then we have a white car, we have an orange car. We're not really fussed. I think you just look at the car and then you say, yeah, this really suits it. And then that's really what we go with.
I'm really not a fan of red cars, but I tell you a story. Speaking of the 911 at the very beginning, the very first 911 I bought was a pretty slick machine. It's worth a bomb now, Andrew. I don't want to tell you what it's worth now. We sold it for good money, but it's astronomical now. 993 Carrera S, so the wide body car, just rear wheel drive, a very sought after model.
Yeah.
And in 1997, they only made 1,500 worldwide. Can you imagine that? Today they probably sell 1,500 a month now.
Yeah.
And it was arena red. And I remember the guy who I was talking to about it, and he said, don't buy the color, buy the car. So it was a really nice car, in great shape. So I bought the car and I fell in love with the color.
Color is gorgeous.
Yeah, but it was one of those
Gorgeous.
things, I'm like, I don't really want a red car. But it was this burgundy and it looked pink in the sunlight, dark
Beautiful.
red, almost black at night. So
Yeah.
often you learn to love it.
I'm not a huge fan of blue cars, let's say, but I have to say, I was in a Targa 911 in this color, and I would get that one in
would too.
that color. So I think it just depends on the car. Congratulations. What are both of your future goals for the channel and beyond? What a great question, because Zach and I talk about this often.
We talked about it on this trip, is that this is part of what we want to do. We want to do the car trips, and if we're going somewhere unique, like Newfoundland, or maybe we go, like last year we went to Vienna,
Yeah.
and we wanted to stay and do this, but our dog was elderly and we had to get back. He's no longer with us. But those sorts of things, like if we go on a long distance trip, we'd like to do a little bit of this travel. Oh, they're dumping the dump truck now. Okay. All right, moving on. Nothing to see here.
Okay, now he's done. We couldn't give up this location. And then once we sat here and got everything set up, they came in and we were like, oh. Anyway, hopefully it's all sounding okay.
So yeah, that's one of the goals, right?
One of the goals is to do more travel videos, and I think that you guys really like them. We recently did a Miata road trip with our long-term test drive that we have for Mazda to Victoria. And I think from what we see from all of the comments, it's a nice blend of getting to know the vehicle for you guys, but also seeing a different part of the world that maybe you won't ever get the opportunity to see, or you have goals to go there. And I think that we would definitely like to do more of that in the future.
We also came up with an idea to do rental car reviews.
Oh man.
To go, like, say we went to Italy and we got a little crappy rental car, just have fun with it.
That would be fun.
Drive it around the countryside and
talk about what we like and what we don't like. Rental car reviews or I don't know, trips and rental car reviews. That would be pretty fun.
And espresso.
Yes. As you have come to see since you both have been here in Newfoundland, the roads are not great. What are some examples of vehicles under $65,000 in recent memory that would really soak up the bumpy roads we have here? Well, this has been incredible.
And you can see why here in Newfoundland there are so many pickup trucks on the road. People drive vast distances. So we're here about 400 kilometers north of St. John's, and people here will just drive down to the big city, maybe to go to Costco and stuff like that, and then drive back. It's a harsh winter, a harsh climate outside of summer, and there's moose all throughout the province. So if you're going to hit something, you probably want to do it in something this size. So that's a good choice. I would say, Andrea, another one that pops to mind is the Honda Pilot Trail Sport, because the Trail Sport had a much softer suspension. That would do well on the bumps. Yeah,
I would also say the Subaru Outback Wilderness would do really well. And the other vehicle that we see a lot of here is the Ford Bronco
Sport.
Whether it's the Sport or the larger Ford Bronco. But we haven't seen a lot of Jeeps on the road, have we? I was surprised about that.
No, and I think that the Ford Bronco Sport we've seen more than the regular Bronco, and it has it's called HASS, H-A-S-S. I can't remember what it stands for, but it's the high speed. And that suspension on that truck or that SUV is amazing over bumpy conditions. So try the Ford Bronco Sport, the Pilot, and of course the Silverado.
And Jason from The View, where we stayed last night.
He's on The View?
On The View. Anyway, he was saying he has this Chevrolet Suburban High Country.
Same as this, yeah.
And one of the reasons why he has it is he's actually hit quite a few moose along the way, and he's been safe in such a large vehicle. Hello, Motormouth couple. Congratulations for your 100th episode. How fitting that you can celebrate this in beautiful Newfoundland. What are your top 5 favorite things there, food and tourist attractions? What would you say?
I think, first, I think that this hotel that we just stayed at, The View, is by far the best view. It's spectacular. St. John's is definitely worth visiting to see all the colorful houses, right?
Yeah, I thought St. John's was really pretty. I mean, that was a must-see, especially for me. I'd never been there before, so I wanted to see all the houses. People are lovely anywhere you go in Newfoundland. Fisher's Inn that we stopped in.
Fisher's Loft. Fisher's Loft Inn.
Oh yeah, Fisher's Loft Inn that we stopped in Port Rexon. The panko cod is the best that I have ever had. It was absolutely delicious.
And last night I had cod, because cod is the main fish that they caught here for centuries, and they had a big downturn in the fishery because they had a cod moratorium. You couldn't fish cod. The stocks were depleted, and just this year they've announced that they've opened up the cod fishery. So there is still cod to eat, and if you come to Newfoundland, you have to eat the cod. And Andrea, what did you eat last night?
I had a lobster dinner at Bumblebee Bite Brewery. The owner, Natalie, and all the staff there, oh my gosh, they're just so hospitable. Natalie sent a picture that she took of us this morning through an Instagram direct message. And they are just the sweetest people there.
I think they cut you off at Bumblebee Bite. What's it called? Bumblebee?
Bumblebee Bite Brewery.
So if you have to say that 5 times and you can't, you're cut off. Bumblebee Bite Brewery.
Yeah.
I'll have another drink.
Anyway, it was really great. We sat on their deck and we looked at the view, and then Natalie suggested that we go up even further down this road, and we had like this lookout. Yeah, and it was stunning. It was absolutely stunning.
Okay, coffee break.
They're hard workers here in Newfoundland.
As soon as we start, this guy starts up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, is there any place you guys would love to travel to but haven't? Love the show and the reviews. Super great job, guys. Thank you.
I have one. Andrea's not with me on this one. I want to go to India.
Yeah, I don't really have, I don't know. I'm sure it would be a lovely place to go.
You want to ride an elephant? That'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
It would be fun. I have other places that I'd like to go that I haven't been yet. I'd love to go to Amsterdam, Portugal, Croatia, Spain, Greece, Budapest, Prague. I've got so many on my list.
You know what, by the way, that whole list Andrea just mentioned was our son went on 6-week backpacking. Those are all the places he stopped that we haven't been to. I've been to Portugal and Spain, but you haven't. So
I'd like to go.
And I've been to Greece.
I think I'd really like to go to Portugal. I would say number one. Croatia, I hear, is amazing. And I think Budapest. Congrats on 100 from Canmore, Alberta. First time caller, long time listener. I like that. Do you know if Ford will ever offer a hybrid model on the Bronco Sport?
I would bet it's coming.
Kind of surprised that there isn't one yet, really.
It's the same platform as the Ford Escape, same platform as the Maverick. It just seems like, and you know what, Jim Farley, CEO of Ford Motor Company, has said that they're going to have hybrids on every line. Yeah. So there you go. That probably makes sense. Probably when they do a total refresh, because the Escape had a facelift last year, right?
Yeah,
or 2023.
2023.
So that's a mid-cycle facelift. So if you fast forward 2 or 3 years, there'll be an all-new Escape platform, which this is built on, so it's a good guess.
I think that would be great, and I also think the Escape has a plug-in hybrid. I bet you that's going to be all-wheel drive at some point as well. Right now, it's just a front-wheel drive option. Congrats on 100 best car videos on YouTube. Well, we like that. Thank you. Looking at the Mazda MX-5 in Canada on the top trim GT. Any idea why we don't get the option of a different color interior like the US? Really like the tan interior.
We went on the launch for that in California, and we saw the tan leather interior. Now, I've said earlier, red's not my favorite, and it isn't. But Andrea won because Andrea wants a red one, so we're getting a red one.
Plus, it's the best color. Come on, who's with me?
It is a good color on that car. But I said to her, if you could get the red with the tan interior, oh, I'd be 100% sold on that.
Yeah, we asked about it. They didn't really give us an answer as to why. They just said different markets, and they also commented on that dealerships would like less trims and to simplify things. I think it just makes it easier for them. They also know what they sell and what they don't sell, but I do believe that tan interior would have been a huge hit.
I'll go one better. How about British Racing Green with the tan interior?
That's the car I would have taken. If there was an option, a British Racing Green and the tan interior, that would be the color.
There's rumors that might happen, actually. There's rumors that might happen.
Who knows?
But yeah, that red with the tan is spectacular.
Should we do one more?
If they bring it out next year, Andy, we'll have to get one next year.
Yeah, how about that, Mazda? Hi, like your show, reactivated my Instagram account just to ask my question. Awesome. Light or dark interior? We're considering an XC60 recharge and plan to keep it for 8 to 10 years. We have a full house trained 5-year-old boy. Will the light interior look like dog meat sooner than the dark? And any suggestions for plug-in hybrids that can tow 3,500 pounds for a small boat? Ooh.
Well, you could do the XC60 recharge. Will probably tow that much, right?
Yeah, you know what?
I think the towing capacity is going to be close to that. Anyway,
yeah,
I would say that
the
it all comes down to your dedication for upkeep. As the person who cleans the cars in our family, and I like doing it, it's kind of like a hobby. The thing about cleaning a car, Andrea, when you're cleaning a car, it's like skiing.
Yeah.
When you're skiing, you're not thinking about anything else. You're just thinking about skiing. When I'm cleaning the car, I'm just thinking about nothing else. It clears my head, so I like doing it. But a light interior is more upkeep. So what you can do for anybody in the back seat, whether it's a kid or a dog or whatever, you can basically get a cover for it. When our kids were little, I used to put down like a mat underneath their car seat because they always used to drop stuff. So that's just something to think about. It is more work having a light color interior.
It is tough. I think it looks great. I really like a lighter interior, especially in that XC60. It looks so upscale in that model.
It's really white though. I mean,
it's really white.
I would. I think something like a baseball mitt color tan interior is a nice compromise.
Or even gray is a better way
Yeah.
to go as well. I know everybody gets bored of black, and I get it. I feel the same way. I like to go with something different if I can, which is one of the reasons why we went with the Recaro seats in the Miata, because they are, you know, more of a gray color with some black. But I think it's just harder. A 5-year-old likes snacks. You could say no snacks in the car, but
you
that
gotta live
never
your life.
happens. You got to live your life, and 8 to 10 years is
A long time. If it's 8 to 10 years, and I would probably go with the darker interior.
Yeah, safer bet is always the black interior.
All right, Andrea, that's a wrap on the 100th episode from Newfoundland. We're
Yeah.
here in Triton, Newfoundland on a spectacular, sunny, hot summer day, and we're having an amazing trip.
Yeah.
And thanks to the Chevrolet Silverado for doing such a good job. It's been a lot of fun. You haven't done
Yeah.
a cheers yet with our whales.
This Silverado has eaten up the bumps in the road, and I have to say it has given me so much confidence on these roads in Newfoundland when I'm driving. It really is a great vehicle, and I can see why full-size pickup trucks are so popular here. So cheers to 100 episodes. I was going to say 100 years. 100 episodes. Boy, that went by fast.
All right.
We're going to keep going because you like questions, coffee, and cars.
How do you get a question in, Andrea?
Follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning, I put a post out on Instagram, and of Zach and I holding coffees. Once we gather our questions, we start the show.
Of course he stops now.
Coffee break.
See ya.
See you later.